Yes, Chris. So why are we still talking again?
I like talking. I think it adds a little bit to
Oh,
the show. You know,
oh my
when they come
goodness.
in, they hear us, give us a little backstage action. You know what I'm saying?
Well, pause.
I mean, wait a minute, not like that. Not like that.
That was 4 minutes.
I mean, we trying new things out. We got a countdown and stuff like that. We might as well.
Man, this Chris, none of this sound good without visual, man.
Just saying it. Be acting different now. Like
Right, man.
professional and shit.
I shout out to Shannon Shaw, who's still going at me about my comments, man. Welcome to the Black Super Friends podcast. I'm going to serve as the host tonight. D. Horace Towns, residing in Palm Beach County, Florida, Riviera Beach to be exact. Hey, tonight we're going to have a awesome show. Awesome show. We're going to have an awesome show. It's a live show, so always enjoy the show. Hey, first off, I would just start off and go to the people that help me do what we do and make it this iconic show. Shout out to the viewers that we have in Ghana, Toronto, Nigeria, Saint Martin, the Philippines, and a word that I can't pronounce, but it's somewhere over in Asia. So, yeah, we're doing big things. First, I'm gonna go to the person who I'm interested to see, the person who has no regard for production credits, who just feels that he's going to create a whole new way to do things on live TV. The man that you probably heard while we was coming on live tonight, we will call him the new age producer, Chris Leo.
Man, it's a wonderful, wonderful night to be here. Wonderful night to be alive, man. I just had a amazing experience, and I'm glad you guys showed up today. Black Super Friends family.
All right. Next, I'm going to the man who has become a fashion icon, wearing the latest apparel from undisclosed line. But tonight, you will know him as Super Mario Senior.
Greetings and salutations, man. I'm excited tonight, man. I'm excited about this show tonight, man. Happy to see you fellas and happy to see everybody who came, man. Shout out to Derek, man, one of our loyal followers and guys who tunes in.
All right, next, I'm going to the person on the bottom. You know him tonight as Zay.
Turn your mic off. You are professional.
It's on. What's happening, y'all?
All right. Wait, I don't know where to start at. And they ain't Austin. All right, guys. Let me go. I mean, no, I'm gonna change it up. I'm gonna go to trending news first. I'm gonna switch it up a little bit tonight, man. You know the interesting thing? I want to go right at this news story to kind of get your blood pressure pumping. In Tennessee, two young lawmakers of African American persuasion were expelled due to participation in boycotts to gun legislation, if I'm correct, right? And I just went Pearson and Jeffries, I believe. One was reinstated today on a 36-0 vote to be reinstated, and the other person, I am not sure of their activity. There was a lot of outrage about those two being expelled from their legislative positions, and I wanted to get y'all idea on that because Jones, I wanted to get y'all idea on that because we are oftentimes we read headlines, we get outraged, and we go, well, some people all they're gonna do is social media to be outraged. And then you have some people that get involved. But I wanted to get y'all thoughts on that situation. Super Mario Senior.
That's an interesting topic because I'm pro gun, so I was telling anytime I see black people standing up against the right to bear arms, I think it's dangerous for us. I think to unarm us is putting us at an even greater disadvantage. So I understand the ploy and I understand their principles on standing up to try to stop us from getting for the mass shootings. But as we know, gun control won't stop mass shootings. So if somebody makes up in their mind they want to go shoot up a school, most likely they're going to go shoot up a school unless you go and get some kind of psychiatric help for people from their home to try to go send them there. Other than that, gun control to me is just a hot topic for Democrats and Republicans to argue over, to try to like spin up their base. And I think that it was kind of funny to me the way that they did boycott, and then it's like, yeah, you two get on out of here. You don't do it again. You just sit down. I don't know what's wrong with you. Sarah may not lost her mind, but we're gonna give her a pass this time. And then the other two brothers was like, people just surprised. It's like out of all the stuff we done seen in the last 3 years, if you never seen racism, you never seen sexism, you never seen, it's been at its height in the last 3 years. And it's almost laughable that people are surprised that, the United States is being racist again. Bro, why are everybody so shunned? And like out of all the stuff that we done seen, a person got fired and one didn't. People were dying. And then we seen racist people killing people and getting off of jail. And this is the one that shocked you? I'm gonna let y'all go because that's one of them outrageous outrage ploys to get everybody riled up, to me, if you ask me, because 2 people got fired. All right. And one of them got hired back today. So it's people who lost their life over racism who we didn't make this much fuss for. So I'll let y'all talk about the 2 guys who are trying to get us unarmed.
Zay.
Yeah, I don't know. I disagreed. I'm with Hardy. I want my gun. I'm an avid gun holder. I keep mine. I don't agree with what they were saying. It was unfortunate, but I mean, it was the outrage, I think, of the racism. Like Hardy said, they just shined the light on that. The guy telling them, you know better, or you should be. I forgot the senator at the time, but the white senator who was making all the remarks that everyone is in an uproar about. What's new? They're not going to do anything. And I'm just praying that they don't listen to them or those guys get their way where they take away our right to bear arms. I want mine. So I don't identify. I just think that it's a next subject.
Chris Leo.
Okay, I don't know how to view this one, to be honest with you. When I first seen this, the story was about 2 senators being fired, right? Then as I looked at it more, it was about 2 senators being fired and a white senator or congressman, whatever, didn't get fired. Then I found out that it was about a protest about gun violence. And in my mind, I'm thinking like, as I start to dig deeper into it, I'm starting to get more information. As far as the racism part, that white woman, when the shit really hit the fan, when they really started to protest, she played the background. And there's reports of her begging for her job back, begging to not be expelled. That kind of somewhat explains why she wasn't expelled. Those 2 guys grabbed a bullhorn and raided the Capitol building. That is reminiscent of January 6th. That's just the truth. That's what happened. They raided you cannot raid the Capitol building. I understand what they're fighting for. I understand the whole gun right thing. I get that, but I think that's a separate situation. 3 children died, and that's not the story. 3 adults died, but that's not the story. They're calling these congressmen heroes when in that story, when you look at that story, there was a little girl that pulled a fire alarm to help bring the police in. There was a police that lost his life killing the shooter. But this is about the two congressmen. When I watched their interviews on the Today Show, all these other platforms, rarely did I hear them say anything about the victims, the children that was killed. I seen Kamala Harris make a statement where basically praising the senators. Okay, that's cool, but this is about kids that died in these shootings. And I think I also find it interesting who did the shooting. That's something that we really need to look into. If you haven't looked into that, look into that. Who did the shooting and what origin they're from. I think that has something. The fact that you don't know that says a lot. But I think it's bad that the story is about the exposing of the senators and not about the kids that was actually killed, the people that killed the shooter. And I just think that's a harmful thing. From what Hardy said about the guns, I don't know if gun control is the answer. I don't know. It might be the answer. But look, I think fortunately, and I don't want to say fortunately, I think we're going to get an opportunity here in Florida to find out. DeSantis has just made it an open to carry state. I would like to see the information on open to carry states in mass shooting, in school shootings. Maybe, just maybe, the fact that a potential shooter knowing that everybody's strapped, any and everybody could be strapped, maybe that could do something about school shooting. Because if I put myself in the mind of a shooter, anybody could have a gun. I think it might make me less resistant to pull that weapon, knowing that it's a possibility that everybody is strapped. So I would like to see the data on that. Because again, what Hardy said, I don't know if we just don't know if gun control is the actual answer. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I'm willing to see both ways. I don't care, but in Florida, we're gonna get a chance to see because it's an open carry state.
All right, I'm gonna reserve my comments on that topic. I will say the whole open carry issue in Florida has a lot of loopholes. You actually need to read the bill. So felons, please don't think that they just gave you some new life as far as gun ownership. Second of all, much ain't changed with that. You still got to be of age to have the gun. There's so many. You just need to read the bill, and you can understand a little bit different. I think urban America is being for some shops.
I hope people just listen to what Horace said. I just want that little point right there, not to beat that in, because I really hope they understand what he just said. See, the sad thing about black people is we read the headlines only, right? So what's going to happen is a lot of people who did no work is going to run out and get guns, right? But the same rules apply, except for you just don't have to go down there, pay your $100 and some and take a 3-day class. If you're not, right? And to me, you know who that hurt more? I hate to say it, black people. Because you know how many of my homeboys with no felonies who I begged to, hey, bro, go down there and take the class. You already have a gun. You're going to get caught carrying a gun, then you're going to get a stupid charge. Just go take the class and get your license. You legit. They never did. See, now it covers them. It covers those guys who just being lazy. Most other races go do the right thing. It's us who will be riding around with no felonies and no gun license. So to me, I'll be all for open carry because I have the understanding to know that most people who open carry the right way, it's just lazy people. They don't have a felony. They just don't want to go take the class. So now a lot of my homeboys who never did it, guess what? You won't go to jail for possession of a gun charge now. So I think people need to start looking at like, how does this help us and how does this hurt us, and stop being falling into ploys of being defenseless. Understand you have the right to bear arms so we don't have a dictatorship in America. Our voice is attached to our right to bear arms. You take that away, you don't have a voice. Nobody cares what you're saying if they don't fear you. I'm gonna leave that alone.
Well, I also want to give a FYI. Think about how many situations now where you see road rage or you see racial clashes, right? And what's the odds of now somebody that's scary shooting somebody else, and the odds of knowing that person more than likely now has a gun, even if I can't see it. So now my defense is he had a gun. Get me? So I just think it still backfires on us a little bit.
Well, what do you think there could be a deterrent to shooting, knowing that the other person can possibly have a gun?
Absolutely not.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No,
Nah.
it actually heightens it because
Yeah.
you got to think about it. A scared person will kill you way faster than a person with heart will. So if we stay in Florida and it's already stand your ground law, I think he had a gun. They do it now, and there's no permission required.
Yeah, but if there's no gun found, then you go to jail. Georgia been open carry. See, that's what I'm saying. So like this law that everybody's so scared of has been available in Georgia. So crime ain't just raised up by the roof in Georgia because they said open carry. That's what I'm saying. Like we gotta be realistic. Like shooters shoot, other people don't. Like dog, it takes a lot to shoot into a car when you're driving by out of being mad. That's a person who crazy regardless. Like the gun laws is not going to control that kind of person. That's what I'm saying. Like, you know what I'm saying? The dude who went and got the gun and bought it off the street, who got 3 felonies, he's a shooter. You can have all the gun laws in your world. It's not going to stop him from shooting. So that's why I say gun laws is not going to stop.
But that guy ain't going into schools doing it.
Right. And that's what I say. So that's my point. So you talking about having gun control. It's like, bro, just think about this. With gun control right now, I can still go get a gun. Gun control don't stop me from going to school and shooting. So I just want to know, tell me how, because most of the people who shoot up schools don't have a felony. Do you know that? Look at the odds of that. The average person who shoots up a school don't have a felony. So tell me, and they know this. So tell me, how can gun control stop mass shootings?
I think that's a question. That's $1 million question.
It won't.
Yeah. Well, let me ask y'all something else. Since I'm putting America on trial today, Cash App founder Bob Lee 3 days ago was found stabbed, staggering. He had been the victim of a stabbing attack. 24 hours later after his death, America announces, the Federal Reserve announces that they're going to come up with a FedEx version, a federal version of the Cash App system that will go right away into America. I mean, right away, it's going to be put in. Now, the side note about that, I want to say this, is the fact that Bob Lee heard of alleged rumors that that's what America was trying to do, and he already had filed suits regarding the trademark, whatever. It's not trademark, but that you guys are about to infringe on my idea and use it. And he just happens to come up the victim of a stabbing attack. So let's not, come on, people. You know what makes me mad? We'll get on Facebook, talk conspiracies, and all of that stuff under the sun. And this is one of them situations where you have to be like, come on, fed now. Like, come on, man. The man got stabbed mysteriously. 24 hours later, on the news, this thing was ready to roll out. Boom, new system. Then you find out that, hey, he was about to challenge all of that. And I just want to give the last one. It's amazing to me that most countries have their own federal system, their own money system. Most of those countries are called communist. So China, North Korea, Cuba, all those places have a bank that's tied to their country. America, as mighty as it is, does not have a bank. And this is FYI for people who, some people really don't know this. When you pull out your dollar, it says the Federal Reserve on there. Federal Reserve is not tied to the United States at all. It is a private bank, and it has a whole lot of families tied to it who are immune from prosecution, subpoenas. It's a private entity that you can't even sanction. You can't get bank records. You can't do anything. And somehow that little thing called the Federal Reserve runs so much of our country. That's why it's amazing when you hear them say the Federal Reserve is pushing this new system. Interesting. So when you hear all of that, it's like, how do we not see the same system we just talked about in the last topic being so wicked? And I always tell people, we have been taught through education to believe America is so great. But in reality, we love America, still good, better than other countries. But you can't see the devil because you're in the belly of the beast. But that's just my opinion. Chris Leo, what you thought about that mysterious coincidence?
I didn't know. I didn't think much of it. I want to wait. I'm starting to wait to see more evidence come out. I think stabbing is a rough way to go. I think that if the government had a hit, I don't know if it would be stabbing. So that would make me give a little bit of doubt that it was a government hit because it was a stabbing. But as far as even just going cashless, man, I don't know. I'm not educated on this stuff. I think that I'm American, and I support America because I've never been anywhere else. And although it might be bad, I would rather at these times like this, where you got all the BRIC committee coming together, I would rather be on the side of the bad guys because I don't want to live in fear. And in America, because I'm American, I don't live in fear. America is not an asking nation; it's a taking nation. When America wants something, they just take it. They wanted the land, they took it from the Indian. They wanted labor, they took it from Africa. They wanted oil, they allegedly killed Osama bin Laden and Saddam Hussein. So if all these countries want to gang up on America, we have the strongest military force in the world. So to me, I really don't feel fear in what's coming up with the dollar and everything like that, because I know how America works. If they want something, they're gonna take it. And whatever, y'all can gang up if you want to. You better be ready to fight. You better have some hands. So that's what I think.
Yeah, it sounds good, Chris. I want you to do two things.
What's that?
Sounds funny, but watch The Simpsons for one. Second of all, again, the whole, you say I don't think the government will, but there's a lot of powerful people in this country that the elite. So hey, maybe it's not a government hit, but if you don't think somebody knows somebody to say, hey, blah blah blah, we need to go this way. There's too many stories of this in our history to not think that it's some fuckery that happened for this man to mysteriously come up missing. I mean,
is Cash App one of them companies that just one sole guy runs it and it's not a board that can carry on after he's dead? I'm saying this because I'm ignorant to it. I don't know.
To my knowledge, he had sold the company, but it's like if I invented something, I still own. It was something that I created. So it's just like a trademark. Like I own this. Nobody else ever thought about Cash App. I made this. So no matter what, it's mine. So for you to come behind me and create another one, that's just like Nike's out. Oh, McDonald's, and you got McDowell's. Same scenario. So yeah, and the man was going to court to go right against him. Like, nah, y'all trying to pull some S, and then I just come up. So it's not crazy to believe that one of these billionaires got somebody that's like, hey, he about to mess up $1 trillion deal that we need, or right now with the dollar crashing and all the stuff going on in the world, hey, this needs to happen.
But if dollar crashing, then why are we worried about digital, the introduction of digital cash? If the dollar is crashing,
because whether you like it or not, everything's going digital, and Fed Now or Cash App is a way to transfer money.
Yeah.
So yes.
But then we're complaining about the dollar being worthless. So how can we have both of these arguments?
Cash App even has, you can sell anything on Cash App. Bitcoin, if you look at Cash App, you could buy Bitcoin, you can do a lot of stuff. So it wasn't even about the dollar, it's just about being able to transfer money in minutes without using banks at certain times. But that's just my opinion. Zay?
I was gonna say, I honestly don't know what to think with that. I think that it is a change. It was inevitable. We knew it was coming. The death of the Bob Lee guy definitely comes up in the conspiracy thing, where it is suspicious, to say the least. And here comes the Fed now. Now, Chris, I hear what you're saying about the dollar, but I think it all boils down to accounting. If they do this, because you can hide dollars, mattress money. You can't hide them digits. That's a way for them to keep record. You know what I'm saying? So no, it doesn't blow my mind. I just think that we as humans are afraid of change. and it's something new. So it's just fear-based and anxiety is through the roof. But I do believe what you said, after it's all said and done, and the dust settles, it'll be okay. It's just the anxiety of that Chinese yuan, however they say it, and the dollar decreasing, or how the trade is being depicted through the news right now, that I think has the most anxiety. But just like when Cash App began, a lot of us were skeptical and we weren't doing it. And next thing you know, we Cash App and our behinds off. I think Fed now is going to be the same exact thing.
I even hit on the flower scam.
Yeah, well, listen, I want to say something before I go to Mario real quick. Right now, there's legislation. Your president, Joe Biden, is trying to support the federal legislation that wants to have such a tight hold on cryptocurrency and digital money, right? So that's why they're trying to limit crypto transactions, and everything has to be traceable under the new system that they're having. Republicans are saying that the Americans do have the right to some kind of privacy when it comes to my financial money. So all of this is an argument on behalf of the Federal Reserve, because think about it, again, the Federal Reserve is being taken out of the equation, because under digital money, ain't nobody using the Federal Reserve. That's the biggest issue they have. Trillions and billions of dollars are going all over the place. And hell, Putin has been financing most of everything he's doing with Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. So not only is the dollar crashing, but the Federal Reserve is being taken out of the equation. So that's why the superpowers are kind of shaking hands like, you know, we've been using y'all. You ain't gave us a fair shake. You've been giving us outrageous loans. And now we've collectively united like Voltron, and we're creating something different without y'all. So I do think it's important that I understand, like they said, from dollars to digital. Maybe you want to hide some money, but now they're putting a stamp on everything. So they're going to know if it's $1 trillion, they're going to know where every cent at because of these transactions and these stamps. And I think I can support that. Super Mario saying, my bad.
Well, let me tell you something about the good old country of America.
Oh, damn.
See, that's the problem. See, I'm American. All my life, my son was born in America. My daughter was born in America. My good old mama was born in America. So, like Chris alluded to earlier, all I know is America. So when I understand what the American dollar is doing, and it's flopping, and it's inevitable, it's gonna flop, just like the pound did 100 years ago. This happens all the time. So I don't know why we would be naive, but in our lifetime, all we've seen is the dollar be at top. So we are naive to understanding history says you can only be at the top of the currency ladder for so long. But au contraire, here comes America. And see, I agree with Horace. It might be bad for the mattress guys. For the mattress money guys, this is going to set you back when all that money is worth nothing. But for the good old country of America, for us people above the water, the people who pay taxes, own land and property, we're talking about a time. Because see, what you can't do is this. You cannot stop us, because when dollars go down, then guess what? I'm going to get on there and I'm going to send my best hackers to digitally make sure it influences us into every currency. So if it's yuan, yen, whatever dollar you say, if it's digital, I can tap it. If it's digital, I can hack it. If it's digital, we can pay and we can play. And America will be up top. Listen, casualties has to happen. Hats off. I'm sorry for the family of the Cash App guy. But casualty has to happen, because this good United States of America has to live on. I got 3 kids that has to live on in America. And I look at my daughter the other day. I asked her, do you plan on living anywhere else, poo-poo, besides America? She looked me in my face and said, no, Daddy. And I said, well, God bless America till I die.
I'm saying, do we know if Nigeria is involved in this new connection on with the BRIC nation? Is Nigeria involved?
South Africa is.
South Africa.
I'm talking specifically Nigeria, because Nigerians are the biggest scammers in the world. So what we need to do, if we go digital, we need to go reach out to the Nigerian nation, tell our brethren to come in and fix all this for us.
Well, all you got to do is go to Atlanta, because that's where most Nigerians are at right now. Go to the mall and go near any food court. That is
this is what I'm talking about right here. See, Negroes like this right here really burrow my blood right here. Negroes ain't never been to Africa a day in their life, and they're going to tell me that I ain't American. I spent the dollar all my life. I bought my house with the dollar. My mama uses the dollar. All I got is the dollar. I got African homeboys. My daddy has contracts in Africa. Horace knows this. We had a debate the other day. I called my African compadres that I actually talked to, and they told me a lot of it's malarkey. But then we sit here in America paying taxes, living in houses, eating McDonald's, and talking about, oh, America this, America that. We get off the ship.
Let's go back to Africa. This is Charleston White, dog. This is Charleston White.
Charleston Black.
All my life, I just can't understand you on a ship saying, I hope the ship I'm on sink. You're on a ship. You're sailing in the ocean and saying, they shoot missiles at us. Boy, I hope they hit us. Yeah, this good old captain, this no good captain, this no good crew, but you own the ship. I can understand if you're saying, in the next 10 years, I'm gone. I done start buying yen. I done start building a house in Africa, Jamaica, stuff like this. But most of these people who be saying all this stuff, you're not going nowhere. You're going to die and get buried in America. So this does not help you at all. It won't help your kids, your children. Come on, man. Let's be realistic. That's why we losing. Because you're still trying not to be American instead of trying to play the game that America has set up. America's a money game, period. No matter what. It's built off capitalism. So if we spend more time trying to research why we not American and start to understand the game that they playing right up under our nose, then guess what? We will get to the top of the game, but then you can say, you know what? I don't want to stay in America no more. So guess what? I have enough capital from America, like the Chinese do, like the Arabians do, and guess what they can do? Go back home to where they come from and send all their money home. We ain't got no home. I ain't got nowhere to send my money.
Charleston Black.
Speaking of money now, again, you say what you want. I'm in Florida. You can say what you want about our governor, but he made a statement that he's going to be against bringing digital currency to our state. He believes cash is clean. Again, we have a lot of issues. I hear a lot of issues with DeSantis, but he's made it an open carry state. He's made it, and he's vowed to not support digital currency. And he also said he wasn't going to expedite Trump to New York. Yeah, I look at a man's totality. Yes, you took away some courses, but I look at a man's totality and I make my decision off of that.
Well, he's gonna be really pissed next week because of the book ban. They played games with the book ban and took his autobiography out of the shelves too. So if you don't know him, he gonna be pissed next week, boy. Hey, he's a petty guy. You got to know what's coming up. You know what? I'm going to go somewhere first, man. But while I got the energy, I got the great debater on stage today. And I want to say something to y'all. I want to paint a picture. Some people on the screen went to jail. Some people was on the back of a convertible with no shirt on. But coming up,
I was the one that went to jail. I was the one that went to jail.
Well, it's two people that went to jail. So let's just say
I definitely went to jail.
That it was a time to be alive. And today, this goes out to Shannon Sharp as well. We have a great debate going on right now, and it's all being sparked because of a documentary that's coming to Netflix or Hulu. Hulu. And it is called Freaknik, the documentary. And I must say, that a lot of people are very nervous right now because, as we will say, it was quite a time to be alive. And I would even if I could describe it to my sons, they couldn't comprehend what their eyes would see once they came over the horizon, once they came over the hill, or if they came over the bridge. Nothing in you could imagine what your eyes would see for 2 to 3 days, no sleep. Everything your hormones ever could imagine, you would get in Daytona Beach, Florida. And if you were lucky, the next week, you would go, is Chris being robbed over here? Felt like a robbery going on, okay? Hey, so let me start over that. In Daytona Beach, Florida, you have something called the Black College Reunion, aka Daytona. And inside of Atlanta, Georgia, you have something called Freaknik. Both events were something that you could not even picture. It's nothing that you could explain if you tried. There are so many stories that you can actually, kids would never imagine such stories. There were people in the back of convertibles. There were G-strings, stones, shows, gambling, loud music, cars, and marijuana precipitation. All right, Chris, we had EMS on route to you, so we're back. So the great debate this week in America was, what was the greater? Was it Freaknik, who now has a documentary coming out, or was it Daytona, also known as Black College Reunion, located in Daytona Beach, Florida? I was someone who had the ability to actually go to a few events: Daytona, Freaknik, the Greek Picnic, Orange Crush. When I got out the porch, I didn't come back for a long time. And to be 5'9" with muscles and a nice shape, I walked around with no shirt for a long time.
They sleep on that Orange Crush.
Attention. Never got that much attention in my life. And I must say, it was a time to be alive. I won't tell other people business on this air, but they will share some of the most felonious conversations and stories that you can imagine. What was better? Was it Daytona or was it Freaknik? I'm going to go to Zay first.
Well, I'm going to have to go with what I'm familiar with, and it was Daytona Beach, BCR. I've gone since the wee age of 13. I probably wasn't ever supposed to be there at that time, and I made it there. And all the things that my eyes probably wasn't ever supposed to see were graced. I met and seen Duval at a young age, Duval with hair, the young one. And he was funny as hell then, and he's even funnier now, and he kept the women wherever he went. It was a beautiful time. The beach is one of the most beautiful beaches in the world. Yes, I said in the world, Craig, because you can actually drive your vehicle on that beach sand. Nowhere else can you do that. You can't do that in Freaknik. So I don't know, because I've never been, but I don't think that they got that going on. Matter of fact, I know. And then when you talk about the women, Georgia, y'all have peaches. Florida, we have those good old oranges. And man, everything is round and just sun ripened. It was a time to be alive. The jail thing, it's a part of life. But nobody was on the back of no verse, popping and doing whatnot. That was crazy. That was for the women. But the funny thing, and I think one of you guys raised that question, was that was called Black College Reunion. Those were educated women in there showing us, what the cameras, some cameras, because I still got pictures. I always been a photographic guy.
When you say pictures, what do you mean?
I got pictures, boy, Polaroid, all that.
What you mean?
What do you mean? Yeah, I can do a
like that
with them. Yeah.
Like my boy?
Yes.
Like my boy here?
Yes.
Like these?
Who the heck is that?
I got a stash, my boy. I got a stash.
Who is that?
I didn't know what picture you were talking about.
just wait till Thursday. I'll pull them out.
Okay.
I got something in there, my cache. I think that's what they call it. But I'm telling you, man, that was the time. So I can only speak for Florida. I'm a Florida boy at heart. I never did get a chance to grace up in ATL, but I heard it was a time as well. But I just don't think it rivaled with us. What you got for him?
I'm gonna go to Super Mario first.
Hey man, listen. I was too young. I was with my daddy's young oldest nephew at the time, so it was. I can't say that I enjoyed Freaknik because I was actually too young, but just to being around, I just kind of, the stuff I do remember is that it was in the city and it was I ain't gonna lie, it was Atlanta and there was a lot of people. And the one thing I did remember is like most of the music sounded like I was home.
Mm-hmm.
So it was, to me, it was like being home without the beach. So it was a knockoff version of what I grew and got older to see as Daytona. And oh my God, Daytona is nothing like it. It can't be nothing like it because of what it is. Because of it being on the beach, like Zay alluded to, because it being secluded. Because if you know Daytona, it's nothing to do in Daytona until they have bite week and used to be BCR. So it's nothing else to do in the Daytona 500.
The 500, there you go.
Yeah, that's it. It's three events that Daytona make all their money from. So, but going there, my first time going there, I heard it, and it's nothing like seeing it. And it saddens me that my sons and my son's sons will never get to see a thing like this, because in the time we lived, it was miraculous. Like, bro, I couldn't, no matter how much I explain this to you, no matter how much my eyes light up and my face filled with glee, you don't understand how much of just being there was a presence. Like, you didn't have to have a lot of money. You didn't have to have a haircut. You didn't have to have nothing. All you had to do is stand on the strip with your homeboys with a cheap bottle of liquor and have the time of your life. Jesus Christ. Woo, boy, we had some times, boy. But I'm going to have to go with Horace. I think BCR by far. But I want to say this before I head it over back over to Chris. Both of them was, the sad thing about it, both of them was focused around college. Because Freaknik was started at Morehouse or Spelman. So it was started around people who didn't go home for spring break or couldn't afford to go home for spring break, who was still in college with nothing to do. So when they do this Hulu special, it's gonna be a lot, like Zay said, it's gonna be a lot of famous people, important people with good jobs, busting it completely wide open.
Well, before I go to Chris, I'm gonna give you the contrast. Atlanta was probably a little more star-studded. So you had like the Dominiques and Jermaine Dupri, the Shannon Shaw. Like, you can show up on any corner and see. Like, Atlanta's different. Traffic traffic is locked down. So you could be stuck on one street for hours in Atlanta. But the club, everything was just so unreal, right? So I like that about Freaknik. But Black College Reunion, you could move around. You could be on the strip. You could be on the beach. You could have been in one of the hotels. You could have been there by a BCC. Like, the reality was, there was so much going on, and everybody was just having so much fun. But the biggest thing that I could never imagine, people telling me how many people were there, and until you made that left turn and seen for miles. I had a picture that somebody had posted on Facebook one time. I'm talking about for miles. You can see nothing but the most crowded strip. And if you took an area, the beach was crowded. And the best thing about it, like they say, it was a Black College Reunion for so many years until the Dope Boys found out. And then there was the decline. That's when the drops started coming. That's when the hoes started coming. That's when they was selling hooch on the beach. That's when the strippers was, bro. Yes, they started selling.
You're gonna talk about the decline of it.
That was the decline of it, bro. It got real. It got real Gucci Mane-ish. Like that.
Decline is in the eye of the beholder. Some people might have said they spiced it up a little bit. They put a little flavor in there.
Nah, it was good, clean girls there. And then once the Dope Boys found out, things just went downhill.
I think they made life easier for college women, but they don't want to talk about that. You know, they struggled all their life.
Well, let's be honest. I don't drink Tanqueray because I drunk Tanqueray, and I used to do this thing where I would have it where I couldn't taste the liquor, and it backfired on me because after full cups, oh man, I've never been drunk, but every time it was in Daytona, and
now they know who was on the verge.
Oh my God! And I'm talking to myself like, "What are you doing?" But can't stop doing what I'm doing. But one thing about it, every year we had different groups that went. A lot of my homeboys passed on. Trick Daddy. That year we went with Trick Daddy. The year that my two homeboys was messing with these girls on the strip.
That they think were girls.
They were dudes.
and they were so drunk that it didn't matter.
Boy, so many stories from Daytona, Chris. But man, you can do a whole show and talk about Daytona. To see Zay go to jail, and he ain't even supposed to be there. So now we got to think of how we gonna get Zay out of jail. We see a man get caught with a gun, all these drugs. He out 30 minutes later walking down the strip. So we like, Daytona you couldn't even imagine such a time. So Chris Leo, I don't know if you ever participated, but my man.
Nice. I think that's a stab at me right there. Now Freaknik, no. I would be honest with you. Full disclosure, I have never went to Freaknik. I didn't get off the porch until late. These guys jumped off the porch way before I did. And So I'm thinking I didn't start my Daytona excursions to maybe 2001. I mean 2000, 2001, 2002. Those are the heights of my years. Now, at that point in time, the Dope Boys had found it. The purchasing of cooch was everywhere. As a young perv, it was a perv paradise. We would sit there on the corner. Dog, it was so much. Dog, it would be like 10 of us in a room. And we would sit there on that strip, and just as women walk past, dog, we would do things that would go send us to jail right now.
Allegedly.
It was all allegedly. It was all about taking pictures before Instagram, before all that. It was about us grabbing a Polaroid, taking a picture with a woman in the most compromising position, period. And then they would just continue to come. They would just it was to the point where we had like a little row where, you know what, I'm not gonna say that. What I will say is the great thing about Daytona and BCR was everybody was together. You could go to a hotel and you'll be sitting out on the strip and you'll be looking, oh, that's Pastor Troy, that's the big time. That's Trick Daddy. They all on the strip right along with you. It wasn't like the celebrities was separated. They was right there. You could see them, and like you didn't even have to be on the beach to have a good time. We would, and like I said about the rooms, man, we would bunk up in the room because we knew nobody was going to sleep. Nobody was going to sleep the whole night. And you get some, you take it to the room, you handle your business or whatever. But as far as like some of those trips, man, I honestly believe some of those trips built my friendship. When I first me and Hardy got close, some of those trips is what made us really connect. Because when you go on those trips, it's almost like a silent contract, bro. Whatever happens to you is gonna happen to me. If you fight, I fight. I'm here. We are here together, and we're gonna protect each other. And those are the times where you really start to connect with some friends, man, and you're having fun, and you're young, and the women out there, man. So I don't know about Freaknik. I can't compare it. But BCR was something I had never seen before. As a guy that just jumped off the porch, because in high school, I was, got that mild. But by the time I got to college and we started hanging out, doing that stuff, I was turned all the way up, man. I had lost my mind. From 2000 to 2003, I completely lost my mind.
Hey man, I remember Chris kept saying, when we went to Orlando, he was the big brother, right? Him and Terrell, right? So I remember them having like a sit down, like, hey, when y'all go here, now we got it. I'm like, man, we looking at him like, nigga, it's over. When I hit this strip, I'm letting it go. He was like, hey, chill out. You gotta do this, you gotta do that. And all of a sudden, my boy got dropped. And fuck it, you can't beat him, join him.
It's a couple things about Daytona that will stick out that I will say. Getting there, like Horace and Chris said, all you had to do was get there. That was a time when we really, if I have $5 and my brother has $250 of my $5, we weren't where we are now in life. You understand? So we're gonna make sure that we ate, drank, or whatever else that we did together. One thing about that strip is it is long. So you'll start off on a good, I'm going to just go down here, and you'll keep following the action, and then you will be miles away from where you need to be.
What?
So what Chris talked about with the camaraderie was it didn't even matter because you may have had a hotel room and it was way on the other end, but you knew somebody that knew somebody, and nobody was going to sleep. So you could catch a nap wherever, and you were going to be straight, and they figure it out the next day, or maybe later on that night, you probably try to get back to where you were. So the Desert Inn and the Adams Mart need to be in somebody's history, fact check. I don't know, because all the parties were there. You seen, like Chris said, everybody. I think Baby pulled up one year with half of his fleet or all of his fleet, and they just parked it all out. Rivera, West Palm, or Palm Beach County, 561, the Desert Inn. We knew that if you got lost and you go there, you're going to find somebody that that's going to save your life. And you would be straight. So I think that this generation definitely missed out on the gym because I don't think that they know too much about camaraderie. And they definitely don't know how to hang out outside without bringing these into play. See, what Horace is talking about is the decline is once, you know, too much of a good thing starts to happen, then somebody got to show out, and they do show out in the worst way, unfortunately. And it's right back to our gun topic, where that's what I think was the end all be all for that cataclysmic time that we would have there in Daytona. I hate it, but
not to cut you off, say, you know what's interesting? Everybody at the same point. I actually started in 93, 94. I'm talking about 99. I think I had the Honda, right? 99, I think I had the Honda. And I can actually remember Wu-Tang. I remember Wu-Tang, they came in Cherokees with the emblems on the hood, and they gave us some sticks, chewing sticks. And these jokers in Daytona with Timbs and jackets on, they looked real grimy. I remember we was with Mystical. Like, these are people that, not telling what we were doing, our activities bonded you. You could just, have your music on for a whole day, just sitting out on the curb. Amp get hot, turn it off for a minute, it's back on. Where y'all from? Oh, we chilling with these boys from Leesburg or Tampa or whatever. Everybody. That's what I do believe this generation will miss. Like, bro, for the sake of a good time, it didn't matter where you was from. As long as you was decent, man, you clicked up with people. And it was people from, at the time, West Palm and Revere didn't get along. But that's how I ended up getting close with the dude from Pinewood. Me, Plate, and all them boys. Man, them boys would get a room down there on 42nd, the Days Inn, I think it was. Like, bro, you look forward to that every year. And like you say, we miles away from our room, but so we know they stay down here every year. And they going to be over here every year. And that's what I do miss about that, bro. Maybe we were just young and dumb, but it was just so much fun. It was so much fun, bro.
And we had the chirp too at that time, man. Hey, where you at? Oh my goodness, it used to be. What was crazy, dog? The drive back home, just the highway littered with dunks, littered with candy paint, littered with rims.
Some didn't make it.
Just the ride home.
Some didn't make it though, Chris. That's the funny part too. See a joker with the hood up, boy.
I done seen some people left on their belly.
Yeah.
A lot of people left on their belly too. It was a time, bro. It was a time, dog. Like, even what you said about the Palm Beach, the Revere and West Palm Beach.
Yeah.
When we took that shit out of town,
non-existent.
We left that shit in the hood.
Yeah.
When you out of town, if I know you out, you went to lakes, you went to wherever.
I know you.
Right now, we together.
Mm-hmm. We get back home, we'll deal with it.
Yeah, we'll deal with that when we get back home.
Bro, I'm the only dude with a Honda. Trying to bang with the best of them. You know what I mean? Hey, man, this was time. Shout out to Big Mo, who was our alarm clock, who had the 415s and woke up everybody in Daytona. No matter where it was Big Mo and Suge. They gonna beat her, boy.
And look, a lot of you 40-year-old women, we remember you. Why you got these high-ass standards right now? We got Polaroid pictures of you busting it open with the whole with our hand on your ass and all. So when you start to get all high and mighty with all your standards, we're gonna whip out them old photos, them old Polaroids, and shake the motherfuckers in front of you. Just to humble you a little bit.
We just don't tell.
Mm-hmm.
We just say.
What interesting you say that. I'm gonna save my red flag for next week. Or do y'all want to do Chap Said Charlie? Which one? Because I know Chris is upset. Like, when I first went and targeted this person, I've always said this, ladies, I don't know if it's the visual or what, but every month there's a new character that y'all be sharing what they say because it sound good, y'all clapping, and y'all never question the person. When I first seen this dude doing this commentary, the first thing I did was Chap Said Charlie. He doing this right here. I mean, he keep chapping his lips, and the man talking about marriage. I don't see no rings, and I even asked, like, "Hey, bro, has he been married or what's his status?" Like, y'all don't even know this man's story, and because dude talk loud, fast, and he can say what y'all want to say, he is an overnight Kevin Samuels, anti-Kevin Samuels person. You know what I mean? And y'all love him. And women, I just can't understand. And then I don't even know the Negro real name is Amers. God, I gotta go look up the dude name. I'm like, y'all don't even know this dude, man. Me personally, I got Sugar Bear vibes when I listen to his commentary. But let me go look up. I gotta find the dude name. But Chris say you say he need to be stopped. Why? What's the biggest issue?
I ain't had no problem with him for a long time, but when he started talking about the older dudes, that's when he triggered me. He did his last little post that you put into the group chat. That was why I drew the line. When he started talking about older dudes, he could attack everybody else, but don't attack the OGs, man. We the 40-40 club. Don't attack us. But okay, I want to give this man I want to give him guys like him, Tony Gaskin, Derek Jackson. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt. We are put here to protect women. So I'm hoping that that's exactly what they're trying to do, is protect women from potential bad guys. And there's nothing wrong with that. He never makes a distinction of bad guys. He just say men, which whatever. But I hope that that's what they're trying to do. My problem is I never hear these guys outside, and I'm always outside. I've been outside. We always outside. I don't hear these men in barbershops having these conversations and taking these stands against around a group of men that probably disagree with them. I don't hear them at the basketball courts having these same conversations. I don't hear them in any type of male-led spaces. The only time I hear them have this talk, this rhetoric, is when it's to an audience of women. It's never to us. So I think that they hide when they do this. Again, if you're trying to protect women, that's fine. If you're trying to protect women from bad men, because there are bad and evil men out here, that's fine. But be had the nuts to have this conversation in a barbershop in front of a group of men when you're not placating to women. Have it at the gym. Have it in front of a group of divorced men. Have all these conversations. It seems I don't have a problem with uplifting women, especially Black women. I don't have a problem with that. But I think in our culture we have an issue where to uplift Black women we must downgrade Black men as if we're adversarial, and that's just not the case. Do your thing. Placate to your audience, but I just don't think that you need to put all this fear in women when we're both parties have a lot to lose, especially in the dating part. It's only that the men have to risk everything plus finances in the whole getting to know and dating part of it. So again, I don't think I haven't seen a woman co-sign her experience with him. It's cool to have all these things to say of how you treat women and all these other things, or how you should treat women, but show us. Or matter of fact, produce a woman that says yes
to what he's saying.
This is what it is, and I treat this man like he's a fucking king. I'm submissive to him. I don't have a ring, but I still submissive because he says this. All we want to do is see receipts, because men don't care. They care what works. If acting like this is producing women that stays with you, that's submissive, that's caring, that's loving, and all that, then if that's really happening, then men will do it. But what we seeing is bullshit. What I think so. But yeah.
I think you're right though, Chris. If you think about what you said, it's fear. It's fear mongering. And what do you use fear to do? To control. So it's funny when we as guys sit back and see it, and we like, man, we see what's going on. You're pandering. But as you alluded to, you don't see him speaking to guys. You see him speaking at guys, and he's talking down to them, which if you are a man and you are a leader, you should be speaking to uplift and leading by example. And I don't see any of that going on. You're just down and down and down. And so you're actually worse than the problem, because you're not focusing on a solution. You're actually just looking at the problem and going, see, this is the problem right here. But what do you have to fix it? And at that part is where you fall short. So us as guys here, we like, all right, so what you're saying that happened, but you're not talking about what can we do to do better. You're just trying to make us look bad. And then most guys are going to turn their ears off. or turn you off because you sound crazy at that point. But you'll have individuals who will feel like, amen, but it's not something that can be duplicated, because now if you just have a bunch of men that's just talking down to men, nobody's showing you how to do the right thing, so you still lose. So guys just got to be noticeable or be aware of who's giving the information. That's all.
Can I say this for stat reasons? Kevin Samuels started his whole career talking about men and what men needed to do to get themselves in order, right? And then it shifted. So it's amazing too, because men, we watch Kevin Samuels even then. So it's interesting when Chris say Tony Gaskins, the dude Ace Metaphor, Steve Harvey, Derrick Jackson. These are the leading social media clips. They have the most fan base of women that follow them, share, and co-sign to what they are saying. And all of them have an almost universal message, which is a man talking about men and how, and pretty much what I take from it is not you, it's the men. So in their conversation, I don't see accountability to even question women sometimes to say, hey, well, what about you? You know what I mean? Kevin might have been bad in his delivery, but if you look at Derrick Jackson, all these people who always come back and get exposed, biggest question, always get exposed. But those are the ones that have the biggest fan base. And the women in the comment, oh yeah, that's me. Yeah, that's what happened with me and Tony and blah, blah, blah. But I don't see the person that's making the content that asks women to say, hey, you know, he cheated, but what did you do? Or the man say, hey, you know, this is your third marriage, or this is you've been single for so long. Did you analyze your part? You know what I mean? Like, I don't see those actually getting any love. But the people like Gaskins, Jackson, and Ace Metaphor, Chapstick Charlie, I'm just asking women to look at the hypocrisy of it. You like the message and you eating it up, but does it do anything for your soul? Does it do anything for your growth and your development? Because the stuff we watch, one thing about men, we'll take that punch in the mouth and we're going to be like, damn, you know, at some point we're going to get it together. Difference between men and women, if I grew up and I have a big nose, a dude going to look in the mirror probably 2 days in a row and be like, okay, by that third day, he's going to say, I got a big ass nose, and he's going to live with it. A woman will look in that damn mirror every day and talk about her big nose and how she's ugly and how it hurts her and all severe. So just giving y'all some food for thought, and y'all hate me as usual, but that's my thought. Chris Leo.
Can I add some context of what really set me off with the man?
Please.
That's the part about 2023 is sometimes the biggest boys are the old dudes. Quit thinking that just because a man is grown on paper, that he's grown inside his heart. Sometimes that gray beard got you up because you think that means wisdom. No, make sure you evaluate a man's mind. Not looking at like you a bouncer at a club looking at his ID and say, okay, he's old enough to ride this ride. Old play games too. They make girls cry too. They break hearts too. What you need to do is find a man that has matured, that has outgrown boyish behaviors. I would argue some of the most misogynistic men are the men from the time period when that shit was normal. And let me tell you something about older men. Typically, they have found their comfort zone. Maybe he just got out of his first marriage and he ain't looking to do that no more. So I don't want you to automatically assume that just because he's older, he's going to be more serious. But I'm going to repeat it one more time. Sometimes the biggest boys are these old men. That's the part about
as a representative of the old men club. Damn, bro, leave us out of this shit, man. Leave us out of this shit. We ain't asking to have no 20-year-olds. We want just regular women. But dog, this is some bullshit, man. I was okay with him until he made a personal attack against me. And the gray beard thing, Hardy, I think he was specifically talking to you.
I never had love for him. In my opinion, he's Derrick Jackson Jr. And if he, listen, I'm waiting for his scandal. We're going to celebrate it on this show. At some point, they're going to Andrew Gillum his ass, and he's going to be right out there apologizing. Super Mario Sr.
Oh, man.
Uh-oh.
You know, I thought about this a long time, and I told myself, I don't really care. I hope every woman, one thing I know, the women that find him enticing, the women that follow him, and the women that bite into it, I'm glad. Because that means you're naive. That means, see, I'm out the game. So as a great bearded old man, coach, because I hung up my cleats, but I get to see my dogs, my young brothers, and all this. It sells so vividly to the top. And with preaching like that and naiveness, because you can look at Cuz and tell him, like, bro, you ain't like that. So, and most women who looking at him will say the same thing. Bro, if we was in the club, you wouldn't choose him. But y'all to take his advice because it soothes your soul. And I understand everybody like to be placated to. Everybody likes their ego stroke. Even women. Men get called out for liking our ego stroke, but women like their stroke too. And that's why it's lucrative, because women are the biggest consumers. And so if you stroke their ego, then hey, that's a payday. So hey, my brother, I feel you. Listen, I'm never gonna hate the player. I love the game. I love the game because what he's doing is giving you a cheat sheet. All fellas, listen to me. Look at my camera right here. When you meet a woman, every one of these jerks are telling you exactly what to say, what to do, and how to look. When you look in the list of the women that's liking it, you can go right to their inbox and say, I agree exactly what he was saying, my queen, my sister. I'm tired of these men. And then listen, reverse psychology and sheep are meant to be slaughtered, whether they're going to get slaughtered by the wolf or by the shepherd. They're still getting slaughtered and ate. So understand, as the shepherd leads his sheep across the barren land, he's telling you where the weakness is. He's going to tell you, hey, that sheep keep going out. He's going to be yelling. He's going to be doing this. And all the ones that's like him, and they have the nerve to comment and write paragraphs. And yeah, brother, I feel you. And that's why I've been looking for a man. They telling you what, I ain't had a man in 2 years that been treated me good. I ain't had a man in 2 years. And yeah, and nobody don't take me out on dates. Nobody don't take me out on dates. And nobody don't ever call me on time. Call me on time. Okay, boom. That's the thing about life is this. Anybody who claims to be a perfectionist or a wise man of something, and like Chris said, you have no validity to what you do. You just got a mic. And time has shown us this. Every man who have sat on the throne and looked down, anytime in any variation of life, they have got exposed. Anytime. Because know why? Life is not made for you to sit up high and look low. It's made for you to sit and then bring people up the way you are. So if you're coming from a condescending, derogatory and blameful place, then your fall is imminent. And like Horace said, we're going to sit back. It's going to be in the news, just like your fierce leader, Derek Jackson. And he's trying to slip his ass back too. I love it. See, I love this game. See, this is what he do. He tested the water a couple months ago. He see he didn't get as many likes. He got 1/3 of the likes. He's like, I got to hit back in the gym. I forgot what got me here. Then he went and bought the smallest outfits. And then his last couple of things was just gym. No words. I'm just working out in the gym. Mind, body, and soul. That's gym. Healing. Small shirt, gym. Love yourself, gym. Redemption, gym. Love a woman. Keep a good thing. The views going up. Got them. Nah. See, my sisters. See, if you come to understanding, he back. And I say, look at these sheep. Boy. Y'all better be glad I'm out because I take them to a university.
Sheeple.
I like Chap Slick Charlie. I like them kind of guys. They the cheat code. He the guy he's gonna be the Superman that never saves a woman.
But I don't get it. Here's the thing. This is my problem with it, with dating in general. Women will see that man make that comment, make them videos. They will see men liking those videos. They will even see men commenting on those videos. Well, those are the men that you should have. Why don't you just go to those men? The problem is you really don't want those men. You want the men that don't talk like that to somehow act like that. But the reason why you like them men is because they don't talk like Chap Slick Charlie. And that's the most confusing thing to me. Once the Derek Jackson crew once you make a comment and guys second that, those should be the guys that women should flood their inboxes trying to get, because those are the ones that you say you want. They agree with what he's saying. Yet somehow you always end up with the bad guys. You always end up with the misogynists. You always end up with the assholes. It's funny to me how that happened when you can clearly see what these good men are. Why don't you just go there?
Interesting. All right, fellas. You know what? I'm gonna say we had so many topics that we did a short list tonight. And the best part about it, next week's show is already dang there ready to go, because we had a whole lot to talk about this week. But you know what? We're not gonna push it lately. So I'll make sure this gets to Chap Say Charlie this week. And we wait for your reply, sir. Mm-hmm. But as usual, there are closing comments that come with any show. I'm going to give those closing comments to Chris Leo, because I can feel his blood boiling. He's angry. I haven't seen this kind of passion in a while. Welcome back, Chris.
Well, it's probably because Trump got arrested, indicted without a mugshot. But I think what's happening to Trump is, you know what? I'm not even going to speak on it. But since we're speaking about Trump, let's talk about a budget Trump's love. Jaleesa Hardy, thanks for the shout out today with the picture, with the promo on your story. I just wanted to say I had to buy a new one because I wasted coffee on the old one. And you guys should get this book, Budgeting with Sis, a budget Trump's love.
I want to say anything with Trump in it. It's definitely a win for America, since y'all want to be Americans tonight. And hey, my boy was at the UFC fight this week. And yeah, you know what I'm saying? My boy out you. You know what I mean? You can't keep real thug down. Zay.
Man, listen, I appreciate everyone that came out. I'm laughing about the Trump thing. Trump is a real Florida boy. Not to take away from my final comments, but I seen Trump show up or leave from our prestigious PBIA in his own plane and pull up in New York. And all I could think of was, what's my boy name? Mr. Big. Take that shit to trial. Take that shit to trial. And then he left up out of there and he came on back to Florida and he landed. And when he touched down, he had a host of people. If you know anything about where the Palm Beach International Airport is, it's a long road called Southern. And all the way to Trump's front door were littered his trumpets. And man, they definitely sounded off for him. So I'm interested to see what's going to go on with him, because we've seen them flop about what they're going to do with him. And I just want to see, if he did something wrong, arrest him. I'm always a guy that's going to be that. And if he didn't, goddamn it, leave the man alone. But that's all I got to say about that. I appreciate anyone that came out, tag, and share. We always ask. And last but not least, shout out to my buddy, turned 42 today, as our city councilman, Douglas Lawson. Bro, when you get done, I know you tuned in. I always ask, share, you do, and I appreciate you. And I just want to say happy birthday to you, brother. We are out.
Well, first off, leave Trump alone. Listen, just like a good 72 dunk parked in front of the club, you go by PBI right now. My boy got his plane parked with the little curve, with the little wheel bent, come around the curve. Always marketing, always campaigning, man. So, hey, I personally say stay out that man bending between him and his best. Oh, that's what it really is about. He gave a little money, hush her mouth. What y'all got? They ain't nothing to do with you.
The lawyer gave him the money, and he testified that he gave her the money. He did not testify that Trump told him to give the money. The lawyer testified that he gave her the money, and he's been arrested for that crime.
And doing time.
Waste of time, bro.
I'm just saying.
Waste of time, man. Hey, they ain't say that when Bill Clinton gave Lewinsky $850,000. Go back and Google that payment.
But my thing is this though. Okay, if Trump takes donors' money and give it to his lawyer to pay off Stormy, that the money that he gives them, that makes the money dirty, correct? once he give it to the lawyer to pay it off. Why is it the money? How did the money get clean when the lawyer gives it to the woman? How is it legal for her to accept dirty money? Nobody's making her give that money back, and nobody's taking her to jail for accepting dirty money. The money got dirty when they allegedly said Trump gave it to his lawyer to give to her. That means when the lawyer gives it to her, it's still dirty money. How is it legal to accept dirty money? That's what I don't understand.
The same way they want to tax dirty money. They said if you stealing, if you selling drugs, if you didn't get that memo this year, the things are changing, Chris. Okay, it's changing of the guard. They are now taxing dirty money. Now, if somebody gonna file that, I don't know.
Who am I to say what's dirty?
They moving the goalposts, if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? Everything is changing.
She could be a campaign employee for all we know. Listen, bro, this just rich people playing Monopoly games. That's what I take from it. To me, it's just a waste of time and energy. We got bigger things to focus on. You really doing nothing but giving this man a bigger spotlight that he loves. And if he win, oh my God, you think he was a problem. Oh my God, he gonna be in front of TV like the Tupac got shot 9 times.
The white lady already said it. He Tupac and Biggie, she said.
Man.
That Teflon Don, man. I've been calling him that ever since he been ducking stuff from his first stint in the White House. I said, this is a bad joke. Teflon Don. We didn't think he was gonna make it in there. He eased in there, and he has been amazing us ever since. Be it right or be it wrong, it's amazing. In the words of my homeboy D Hardy, amazing.
The great American hero, Super Mario Sr.
Hey, I heard something that just since we talking about Trump, I seen Rudy Giuliani in an interview this week on a budgeting on a money channel that I follow on Instagram, and he said something that's very profound for me. He said, "Of course, DeSantis is the clear choice for us to lead us to our next comeback, America to get back to where it's supposed to be. Mm-hmm. DeSantis is the clear choice. He's Trump without the antics. Mm-hmm. He's Trump, but a politician. He's Trump, but he's likable. He's Trump, but he's successfully married. He's 45, and he can go above the aisle, and he understands the political game, but he still wants America to win first, right?" So I was like, dang, this come from Giuliani, who that's Trump's right-hand man. Like if it's who was get shot, take the bullet, it's Giuliani. You know what I'm saying? And he said the one thing he said, I think that whoever advising DeSantis right now is smart. And it made me go back and look. It said, when Trump got indicted, DeSantis shut up. He stopped doing shows. He stopped doing appearances. He started doing work. Because the worst thing you want is for him to come out and to say, I'm going to run. And Trump say he's going to run. And then split the poll from Republicans. And then the Democrat, that's why Joe is for to slide right back in there. And I said, that's a danger. I said, and that is very great because Trump is telling you he's going to run again once he beat this. And DeSantis is knowing like, yeah, you ain't going to beat this, but I got to shut up until then. Man, there's some good stuff going on, but Florida gonna need a new governor in a minute, man. In a minute, because DeSantis is when I went back and looked at they said some profound stuff about why he's gonna win, and as a voter, I believe him.
I think if the Republican play the game right, they can have Trump for 4 and then DeSantis for 8. So
right, but that's what they're gonna have to
play
do.
The game right. If they don't feud, if the family don't feud, you can get Trump for 4. And then DeSantis for 8.
That's what I'm saying. That's what they're gonna have to do because Giuliani said nobody can galvanize the people like Trump. So if you're a Republican, even if we want you, we gotta just wait and give him them FOMO, let him get all the way out the way, and then we get the guy we really want in there. But he was saying that's just how dangerous Trump is. He said right now, Ron DeSantis was leading all polls. Trump got arrested. He jumped up, I think, like 15-some points.
Yeah,
off of arrest. He got arrested and jumped up 15 points. It's a dangerous world out here. But one thing for sure, and I'm going to close the show with this. I don't care if it's Trump, Joe, Bill, or Will. Get you some money.
And buy a mug.
There you go. That's what I just you take and buy that book and buy a mug. Listen, man. I'm telling you, because one thing I know, man, people who had money when Reagan had money when Trump was in office. Same people.
Well, this goes out to newbie. Black people right now, forget everybody else calls. Evaluate when you actually live your best in America and then make your choice. Don't forget behind no other cause. Right now, just evaluate who is the best choice for me to advance in America. My life. Who can I actually do better under in this world as far as being a husband, worker, family, all of that stuff, man. So that's just my take on it. So I'm a little bit biased, but we will definitely see y'all next week from the best podcast in the world.
Bet.